Good evening. I'm Dan Fitzpatrick, stockmarketmentor.com, and I want to look at Amazon, but first just to mention to members, tomorrow morning at bright and early my time, 6:15 Pacific time, 9:15 Eastern time, we're going to be doing a live training session, trading, and so if you want to join, my brother's sending out a link to the webinar. Definitely you want to check that out. Typically, we find some good trades. I think tomorrow we definitely will on some of the stocks that are moving after hours. And so this is something that I like to do, and we're starting to do more of it. If you are not a member and you want to join, that's pretty easy to do, but you do have to sign up for a free trial. Doesn't cost you anything. Sign up for a free trial, and then you can show up tomorrow morning and hopefully make enough money to fund your membership. How about that? Okay, Amazon. I'm showing this on a weekly chart because I think it's a buy. I took a decent sized position in it just today, but on a couple of different fronts. First of all, from a longer term perspective, I bought some long dated calls, and on Amazon, when I say long dated, I mean January. And so I expect this stock to move higher. But here's how I really kind of traded it intraday. Here, we'll take this momentum indicator off. It doesn't really matter here for this. But the chart looks kind of messy. I've got pivot points, resistance and support levels on here, as well as a moving average of the volume weighted average price. And this, during the day, this changes as the stock trades, and this is actually a key indicator first thing in the morning. So like I said, I have a position that I'm going to hang on to for a while, and but first thing in the morning, the stock rallied. Everybody was in a mood to buy because the elections are behind us, and one sentence on that, I don't really think it even mattered to the market what the outcome was. It just mattered that the election was over, so everybody could kind of look ahead. So that was a lot of the things that are behind this move. And if you're looking any deeper than that into it, be my guest. Let me know what you find. But so this stock though gapped up like so many did, and then it continued higher. It's a 5-minute chart. But then it gets this first natural pullback. You can look at almost any chart intraday of a stock that ultimately moves higher, and this is, this is what you get: the initial move higher, and then at some point there's going to be a little reversal. Now you don't know whether it's going to be like this and then move higher, or whether you're going to get a complete flip. But what you do is you sit here, you wait, and I'm looking at the VWAP here. So it runs up right away because the stock jumps up, heavy volume, so that has a big influence on the indicator. And then once this stock starts to stabilize here, I look at the VWAP as providing a level of support, and that level of support will hold if there is buying, if there's real buying that wants to soak up this stock. In other words, if this is just kind of a last gasp, retail guys are buying and institutions are still wanting to sell into it, they will sell because this is above the VWAP, and then as it falls, and listen to me, I'm giving you pearls here, man. As it falls below the VWAP, the selling will actually accelerate, because the whole idea of the volume weighted average price indicator is to give the trader, a desk trader, give them a reference for how good their trade performance is that day. And what I mean is, if you have a big order to buy the stock, you want to buy it as close to the VWAP as possible. You want to buy it as close to this yellow line here as you can. If you're buying it clear up here, okay, that's not a good, you're a pretty crappy trader, frankly. On the other hand, if you're supposed to sell into this and you're selling it up here, that's fine. But if the stock really starts to tail off here and you're telling your boss, your portfolio manager, oh, by the way, yeah, we got out of all our Amazon at 1650. First thing your boss is going to do is look at this VWAP and say, what were you thinking, man? Should have got out about 1690, 1685. So the point is, everybody first thing in the morning is looking to try to figure out whether there is buying or selling. We don't know. And so the indicator itself is not magic. It doesn't make any predictions. What it does is it gives you a frame of reference from which to make a judgment about whether there is concerted buying interest this day or whether there is not buying interest this day. That's it. So it's the combination of the price action and the VWAP that tells you whether you should be long or not long this stock. Shorting's another matter. I'm not going to get into that. Just whether you should be buying this stock or whether you should be avoiding it. And if this stock, instead of continuing up this way, if this stock had come down and then kept going, you got to stay away from that. You just say, all right, it went up above the VWAP reset up here, and now the stock's down. I need to stay away from that. You don't buy this dip. You know, people go broke buying dips, trying to buy at the bottom. Instead, you would wait and make sure that the stock is back above the VWAP. Or, and this would be more likely, you'd have been on to something else and find a different stock to trade. But this actually turned out to be a fairly, I won't say an easy trade. I'm not going to BS you. I don't really see anything easy in this market right now. It's always a little bit, you got to know what the heck you're doing. But this falls back here, and then by 10 o'clock, it's kind of off to the races. And then my sense was, as I look at the rest of the market, you know, you see the NASDAQ just kept running up. So I'm looking at the rest of the market, and I think this is a stock that I want to be long all day. Ultimately, what I'll do on a stock like this is I'll buy some calls or maybe a spread where I cut down the cost basis of my call options by selling a higher price, a higher strike option, one that's a nearer term a lot of times, where say you buy January and then sell a high December strike, something like that. But that's for another video as well. Bottom line is this. Look at the VWAP on a stock like this. If it's holding and the stock continues to move, that's a stock that you want to hold, and as it turns out, you're holding it all day long. Okay, that's it, and really, don't forget about tomorrow's trader training session, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. Be there. We're going to make some money.